It can't be.
What is it?
It can't be.
What did you do, Ray? Oh, shit.
It's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
G'day, welcome back to Well Customs. Today we're going to look at my macro figure Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
Now, as you can see in the background, this isn't the first Lego Marshmallow Man I've built. This guy was built a few years back for Lego Ideas. He got to the 10,000 votes required to be considered to be a real set, but unfortunately got rejected. But it's one of the few pieces I keep in my collection that I haven't pulled apart. So a lot of the stuff I build, because I have a limited collection, I tend to build, take some nice photos of it, or do a video as you're watching right now, and then pull it apart and put the pieces back into my collection so I can build something else. But in this case, he's pretty special because he got to the 10,000 votes required for Lego Ideas, and I think he's pretty cool. So he'll stay together forever, even though I've got this new cooler one, which I think it's cooler. And he's designed to emulate the look of the Harry Potter and Hermione Lego set, which I'm calling them macro figs. I don't know what they're called because apparently Maxifig is used in some other sets that Lego makes. So he's a representation of the Lego Dimensions minifig, unlike this guy who's built to try to represent the shape of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in the film. This guy's more representing the Lego version of the minifig at a larger scale. So for the most part, I've copied one-to-one the instructions, literal instructions from that Harry Potter set, and swapped about for completely white, except for in this case where that part in particular I don't have in white. It just came out in the Frozen Castle this year, which I don't own. So I might bricklink that at some point to try and complete it and make it all white. But apart from that, from the neck down, I built this all completely digitally so I could quickly swap parts out and get a feel for how the bib might work around his neck. So I designed all that and made some accommodations so I could fit his little necktie in there. There's a little clip holding that hot dog around his underneath the bib there, and then his head pops off like that, and that allowed me to build this head completely separately, and allowed me to iterate a lot faster than I could digitally because I could pull stuff apart and try different things and get a real feel for how it looks in reality. So in some cases when you're building stuff digitally, you can't get a sense for the depth and shape of how things look and how the shading of all the white works together. Sometimes the seams that you see digitally when creating something look more apparent than they actually appear when you're building something. So this allowed me to get more accurate representation of that little minifig's head. And for his puffy cheeks, which I was quite happy with how that turned out compared to the little minifig version, I had to sacrifice the front of my USC Ecto 1. So at some point I'm going to have to do a bricklink order for that as well to reassemble that Ecto 1 back to its original state, just so he could be used for Stay Puft's chubby cheeks, which is kind of funny. I had to sacrifice my own Lego Ghostbusters set for the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
So you can see his little mouth there is brick built, and even his little tongue, which is made to match the minifig version. His eyes, they should be completely black if I was copying the minifig version, but I felt like this gave it a bit more extra life. And if I'd used completely black for those 2x2 round tiles, it would probably be too big of an eyeball, and a 1x1 would be too small. So this being printed actually allows me to get a bit more closer to the real size. And he's got his little hat there with his tassel, which isn't too dissimilar to the big version I've got behind me. I can just pop his head straight back on there, and it moves around, and it retains all the functionality of those original Harry Potter sets with the movable legs, arms, and hands, and even holding the little minifig version of himself. He's probably a better suit for a Lego city because he looks like a Lego person and he's scaled up versus a Lego minifig or car. So I think this would be pretty cool to add to most people's collection. I'd love Lego, make one of these, make an official version. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see a full-size Lego Ghostbuster as well with a brick-built pack on the back. That'd be awesome. I'd love just to see that line of Maxifigs continue in general, like a Lego Luke Skywalker, Star Wars stuff. There's so many things you could do with it. So please, Lego, make more. We want more. And here you can see it sitting next to my revamped Ecto 1 model, which I'll do a video for soon. The instructions are actually available right now. You can get them on wallcustoms.com. Check out my Instagram. There's pictures of it there. If you've got the original Lego Ideas Ectomobile, It goes a long way towards providing the parts you need for this, particularly some of those parts that are a bit more expensive now, like the hubcaps around the bottom. So if you have that set and you want to upgrade it to a new version with a bit more functionality, check out those instructions. I will do a new video on that soon, just so you can see some of that functionality up close and see why it's worth upgrading. The instructions are free, won't cost you anything.
I had no idea it'd be so much I won't pay it.
But anyway, thanks for watching. Keep an eye on the channel, and if you haven't already checked out the videos for some of the stuff behind me, please do. And thanks for watching.
We've been going about this all wrong. This Mr. Stay Puft is okay. He's a sailor. He's in New York. We get this guy laid, we won't have any trouble.